From Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, this is The Pulse.
Welcome back, Sacred Heart. I'm Melanie Da Silva.
And I'm Marissa Taché. While we are all away, there was certainly a lot going on, both on and off campus. Linda's got a reboot, and a favorite local pizza shop became famous.
But first, for many students here at Sacred Heart University, finding a place to live is a fairly simple process. However, for student veterans across the country, that process is as stressful as it gets. In addition to dealing with factors such as PTSD, injury, and employment, having no proof of income is a factor that doesn't get much attention. Thankfully, the newly instated SERVE Act will finally fix this problem. Here is Drew Thompson with the story.
Money is a problem for most college students. Textbooks just cost too much, gas prices are through the roof, and dollars just seem to go down the drain after a couple trips to the diner. However, for student veterans all across the country, the biggest problem isn't a $70 textbook. Sacred Heart student Nick Quincy is the founder and president of Sacred Heart University's first ever student veteran organization. Quincy realized that awareness and changes were needed for student vets.
Nick Quincy, a Marine and founder of the Student Veterans Club at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, told my office that if he had a wish list of things to make his veterans experience better, the #1 item would be fixing the lack of verification for the monthly housing stipend and therefore giving him better access to housing.
Nick has led the charge for change alongside Jim Himes, Connecticut's 4th Congressional District Representative. Through their conversations, the SERVE Act was born. This act is what will require the VA to give student vets proof of a stipend they receive for housing while attending school. This is vital because this is an important benefit many veterans try to utilize. However, without a proof of income, many find it difficult to obtain housing.
Meeting with Congressman Himes was one of the coolest experiences I ever had. It was literally just a conversation with him that turned into the SERVE Act. And it was about my hardships and getting housing after my divorce, trying to find an apartment, and all the problems that I was having. I just kind of figured that I couldn't be the only one having this issue when there is over 1.1 million student veterans in the country.
The SERVE Act was passed with unanimous bipartisan support as part of a larger package of bills related to veteran benefits. The act requires Veteran Affairs to make documentation of housing benefits available to all veterans through the department's online portal. Now other student veterans, such as Nick, will be able to easily access a letter from the VA proving they receive monthly assistance to pay for housing and related expenses, so long as they are students. Sacred Heart University's founding director of Veteran Student Affairs, Kathy Dilks, had this to say about Nick Quincy. Nick is a great guy who cares deeply about veterans' issues and services. He wants to spend his career helping in this capacity, and he is off to a great start. Sacred Heart University has been a wonderful, welcoming experience for these student vets. Transitioning back to the classroom after any number of years away can be difficult. However, the Sacred Heart community, as well as resources provided for vets, make it all worth it.
Sacred Heart has actually listened to a lot of our requests. They help us a lot. We have a great network of veterans here.
I mean, being a representative for Sacred Heart and veterans, being a student and a veteran here in the university, it really helps having some sort of support.
For The Pulse from Fairfield, Connecticut, I'm Drew Thompson.
Florida yields back. The question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass H.R. 3634? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no.
The government shutdown lasted for 35 days, which was the longest in U.S. history. It affected millions of people, and the economy took a big hit. On January 25th, President Trump came to an agreement with Congress to temporarily end the shutdown for 3 weeks. Ryan Tui and Ryan Sanudo are on the story.
December 22nd, just 3 days before Christmas, the United States federal government shut down. The shutdown was due to a disagreement between President Donald Trump and Congress. The disagreement was over a spending bill. Over 1 month went by and still the two sides hadn't come to an agreement. The shutdown affected many people, such as federal employees, who were not getting paid. This forced them to go out and find a second job. The government shutdown had many broad effects, and though many may not have known it at the time, it could have negatively affected some college students. To find out more about this issue, we spoke to numerous sources, such as Professor Gary Rose.
You know, the broader impact on the economy, I think it's going to be affecting businesses, and I think a lot of our students, parents, whether they work for the federal government or not, eventually they're going to start feeling the impact of this shutdown.
What did happen was that we had some residual effects from, say, for example, our application process, where the IRS was shut down, and it complicated students being able to get tax transcripts that required them for verification if the government needed, if we needed at the institution to be able to do it. Now here at Sacred Heart, we made adjustments for that. So we helped the students get through the process. We asked for some alternative pathways if they weren't able to get the information from the U.S. Department of Ed.
Despite the reopening of the government, there are still negative effects, according to former NYPD officer and Sacred Heart government professor James McCabe.
I mean, you miss a month's worth of income. I mean, that could be, you know, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's gonna, you know, maybe cause you to miss your mortgage, you know, not pay some bills. So I can imagine that people who were living like that, check to check, as you will, you know, were harmed. And I think the worst part of it was the not knowing, you know, not knowing when it was going to end. And, you know, the president, you know, at least his initial position was he'll keep the government shut down for years. And, you know, that's not, you know, not fair. That's not right.
From Sacred Heart University, this is Ryan Toohey and Ryan Sanudo, Fairfield, Connecticut.
Sacred Heart University wanted to help those affected by the 35-day shutdown. The Department of Athletics offered all federal employees who were affected free tickets to shoe athletic events. In an effort to make federal employees' lives a bit easier during the 35-day government shutdown, Sacred Heart offered federal employees 2 free tickets to any basketball or hockey game with presentation of their federal ID. Additional members of their party received tickets for only $1.
We decided to try to help out people who were affected by the government shutdown, just to try to help. We do a lot of cause marketing around our athletic events. It's something where we have a platform for people to come and see what we're doing, and an audience that is vested in what we're doing at those sporting events. So it was something we looked at and said, hey, this is somewhere we can do a little bit of good to help some people. Sacred Heart Athletics often reaches out to help the members of the surrounding Bridgeport community. Providing tickets to federal employees was just one more way the department could get involved. And I'm hopeful that even if it's one person or one family got to come out and do something on a Saturday that they wouldn't have gotten to do, then it was 100% worth the time and effort that we put into it. Sean Hohen, captain of the men's basketball team, is one of the many student athletes involved in community service at Sacred Heart.
Giving back to the community is something that Sacred Heart takes a lot of pride in, and the basketball team definitely takes a lot of pride in. So I realized that we make more of an impact than we think, and coming in, I didn't think that way. And the older I got, the more I started to realize it, and the more I started to want it to give back and help the community. I've never seen a university that I've worked at be so involved in community service and really want to make that a pillar of their educational process. So alums and friends of the program all saw that and were heartened by the fact that athletics was still part of that, and the university was still encompassing that mission. Sacred Heart takes pride in its mission to give back. This time, the athletics department found a way to contribute by helping affected federal employees and their families. They're going to really enjoy the game for the way it's being played. We're going to know at a lot of these sporting events, they're going to have some fun prizes to give out, t-shirt toss, halftime shows, and awards, and they can be involved in, they don't have to worry about having meals or not having work. They can just enjoy the game and really take it into its fullest. For The Pulse, this is Marissa Taché and Melanie De Silva, Fairfield, Connecticut.
As of now, talks between the administration and Congress are ongoing to avert the next potential government shutdown on February 15th.
And coming up next, we take a look at how the winter sports teams are doing and a look back at students' Super Bowl opinions. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Over the winter break, our student athletes were hard at work on the basketball court. Pulse alum Gino Ganello has more.
The women's basketball team is 10-10 overall and 6-3 in conference. Sacred Heart is currently ranked second in the NEC. The team still has about a month of regular season competition left and is looking to continue their strong play. The men's basketball team is also tied for second in the NEC and still in playoff contention. Pioneers are 10-13 overall and 6-4 in their conference and looking to finish the season strong. Back to you, Marissa.
Thanks, Gino. Prior to the Super Bowl, just about everyone, including Sacred Heart students, had their fair share of opinions. Leading up to the big game, Nicole Zeiner asked students which team they thought would be crowned champions. Let's take a look.
Rams.
The Rams.
Patriots.
The Rams.
Pats, baby!
The Rams. I'm a huge Rams fan.
As a school located between a variety of different football fan bases, one can only imagine the type of responses we received when asking their reason why.
Honestly, I became a Rams fan this season because I just want them to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Because they're the greatest team of all time.
Because of the better team.
Gronk. Because I was born and raised in Boston, baby. My favorite team because I'm a Patriots fan ever since I was little. My family's all Patriots fans. We're all from Massachusetts, and we have season tickets.
Well, growing up in New Jersey, I kind of was taught to hate everything Boston and cheer for the other team.
Because I'm a big Giant fan, so I hate the Patriots. Tom Brady, because he's 41 and he shouldn't be there anymore.
And Tom Brady, of course. Edelman.
Fast forward a couple days to the game, and let's see how accurate some of our die-hard sports fans actually were.
Rams. The Rams.
Patriots.
The Rams.
The Rams.
Pats, baby!
From Fairfield, Connecticut, this is Nikki Zeiner for The Pulse.
You know, a lot of people watching the Super Bowl might say that that game was boring, but it was a very good defensive game.
Yeah, you got to give it to Coach Belichick with his great strategy, so congrats to the Pats. Coming up after the break, we take a look at the latest and greatest food options on and off campus. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. So, Marissa, where's your favorite place to eat on campus?
So I used to go to Linda's a lot, but then when they built the diner, I started going to the diner because I like to sit down and, have a nice meal. What about you?
Yeah, I used to go to Linda's a lot too, and also 63's, but, being there for 4 years, you kind of get sick of the same thing over and over again. So it was nice when the diner popped up because it was something new.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's true that Sacred Heart is always making sure that students are well fed and ready to gain the freshman 15. Over the break, the dining hall added 3 new stations. Laura Green has more on students' opinions.
Prior to winter break, there were 5 stations at Linda's. However, when the students returned from break, they were welcomed with 3 new stations: Real Witch, Build, and Breakfast & Co.
We created the stations just because we wanted to look to enhance popular stations that have been in the facility since 2012 when the building opened.
Real Witch features fresh bread options such as pretzel rolls and focaccia. The station also features new sandwiches like pulled pork.
We wanted to keep students' favorites in addition with culinary trends and popular items out in the industry.
Build is all about pizza by design. There are infinite ingredients to choose from.
We have added a big variety of items that connect with our student demographic. We mainly raise meats. We have a gluten-free cauliflower crust, and just our double O flour from scratch has been a very, very popular hit since we opened the Build station this semester.
I think the new pizza is stellar.
I really like the new food at Linda's because they offer healthier options.
Options that continue to increase that variety of choices for students when hungry. From Fairfield, Connecticut, this is Laura Green for The Pulse.
It's great that Sacred Heart is adding more options on campus, but we're also lucky to have a variety of off-campus dining options as well.
One bite, everyone knows the rules. Over the break, Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports visited Connecticut to dish out some of his viral pizza reviews in New Haven and surrounding communities. One of his reviews is as close to our campus as it is to our stomachs. Our reporters Jack Sullivan and Graham O'Dwyer are out at Colony Grill to see how the review has affected their business.
All right, Graham, we're here, Colony Pizza, Fairfield, Connecticut, only 15 minutes away from campus. El Presidente say it's the best, so we gotta try the best. We gotta make it news. You know, one bite, you know, I got so hungry in there, so cold, I already took a bite. So we're gonna take another one anyway.
Hi, Frankie. Pizza review time. We're in Stamford, Connecticut now. Where's this in Stamford? Colony Grill.
One bite, everybody knows the rules. The founder of Barstool Sports is well known for his cross-country pizza reviews. Before the holiday season, Dave visited Connecticut and stopped by Colony Grill to put their pizza to the test. Jack Sullivan sat down with Colony Grill General Manager Mike Sweezy to discuss the big review.
Sure. You know, it was exciting when we got the news that Barstool was down in our Stamford location. We were all very kind of waiting on bated breath for the 6 o'clock release. I think he usually releases them.
One bite, everybody knows the rules. So this is going to be bar pizza, Frankie, and that's exactly what it is.
You know, we know that Dave at Barstool likes to be tough.
Bar pizza. I love bar pizza. So I'm going to be a tougher judge than all these Southern Connecticut because I live on bar pizza.
And we thought it was a good review. We were happy with the score.
8-4. I love bar pizza. I love bar pizza. It's very, very good. I'm getting so spoiled with this great pizza, so I'm like comparing it to Sally's and all this stuff. I love this pizza.
I think 8.4 is a very solid score for him.
8-4. This is really good pizza. This is really good pizza. I think it's a fair, honest score. 8-4.
But according to Mike, Colony Grill is much more than just pizza.
So I think, you know, as far as pizza goes, we're known for our hot oil pizza. But other than that, I think, as you can see here, we're a big community kind of gathering place and kind of your local, comfortable, down-home tavern where a lot of people go and like to meet up in groups and parties.
You know, I think Dave get a pretty good score, fair score. I'm gonna probably give it the same one, 8-4. All right. And if you ever want to come and try it, it's not a bad choice. Only 15 minutes away from campus, like I said. So, for The Pulse, I'm Jack Sullivan, Fairfield, Connecticut.
So Mel, what is your go-to pizza order?
So I'm kind of boring, but I can't go wrong with a cheese and a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, love cheese pizza, but I can't eat it more than once a week. That's all we have for the show. For The Pulse, I'm Marissa Tache.
And I'm Melanie De Silva. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.